best friend texted her every night, so I finally took her phone. When I first started dating Emily, everything felt perfect. She was kind, funny, and effortlessly beautiful. We connected deeply, and for the first few months, I truly believed I had found the one. But from the beginning, there was one small thing that gnawed at me: her best friend, Jason. She always described him as like a brother, but the way he acted around her didn't quite sit right with me. Jason was always around. If we planned a weekend trip, he'd conveniently swing by. If we posted a couple pic, he'd comment something snarky like, "Hope he's treating you at least half as good as I would." Emily laughed it off, said he was just joking, but the comments kept coming. Subtle digs, constantly implying I wasn't good enough or making her settle. I started to wonder if I was just being insecure. One night, Emily left her phone on the kitchen counter while she showered. A message popped up: "You really deserve better than this clown." My heart sank. It was from Jason. I didn't snoop further. I didn't want to cross a line, but that one line kept echoing in my head. I felt disrespected, belittled, and worst of all, powerless. Why didn't she shut him down? Why did she let this continue? When I brought it up, Emily got defensive. "Jason's always been protective. That's just how he is," she said. I explained how his constant digs were hurting me, how they made me question her loyalty, but she brushed it off. "Don't make me choose between you two," she warned. That hit hard. I wasn't asking her to cut him off, just to set boundaries. Was that too much to ask in a relationship? Things didn't improve. In fact, Jason doubled down. He'd send her memes mocking clingy boyfriends or share articles about red flags in controlling partners. It was as if he was slowly chipping away at her trust in me. I felt like I was being gaslit, slowly losing ground in my own relationship. Meanwhile, Emily seemed blind to it all. Or maybe, deep down, she liked the attention he gave her. One evening, we were out for dinner when Liam messaged her again. She laughed at her screen, then quickly put her phone face down when she saw me looking. I asked her what was so funny. She shrugged and said, "Oh, just Liam being silly again." That night, I couldn't sleep. Something about their constant messaging and the way she dismissed it started gnawing at me. I wasn't trying to be controlling, but I needed clarity. So I gently brought it up again the next day. I told her it made me uncomfortable how much they talked and that it sometimes felt like he was disrespecting me. Her face hardened. "He's my best friend," she said. "He's been there for me since before you came along. If you have a problem with that, maybe you need to look at your own insecurity." I was stunned. My concerns weren't coming from jealousy. They were about boundaries. Days turned into weeks, and the messages didn't stop. Worse, Liam began commenting on our relationship indirectly on social media. Vague posts that mocked insecure guys and guys who don't trust their girlfriends. I knew those were about me. I showed them to Mia. She laughed. "You're reading too much into it," she said. But my gut told me otherwise. I started to feel like the outsider in my own relationship. One weekend, Mia said she was going on a short trip with friends, including Liam. I felt a cold weight in my chest. "You didn't think to ask me how I'd feel about that?" I asked. "Why should I?" she replied. "I don't need your permission to live my life." That answer hurt. I trusted her, but this wasn't about control. It was about respect, something that felt increasingly one. During that weekend, I couldn't stop checking my phone. No messages, no updates, radio silence. When she returned, she was distant, cold. I asked how the trip was. "Fine," she said flatly. That night, I checked her tagged photos on social media. A mutual friend had posted a group shot. Liam had his arm around her, and they looked close, too close. My stomach turned. I knew I needed to face this head on. The next morning, I gathered my strength and asked to have a serious talk. I showed her the photo and asked directly, "What's going on between you two?" She looked at the picture, and instead of explaining, she laughed. "Are you serious? Over a photo of us hugging?" I couldn't take it. "This isn't just a photo. This is a boundary, and it's been crossed." Her smile faded. "You want me to choose, him or you?" I nodded. We sat in silence for a few moments. The air felt heavy, like you could slice it. Finally, she said, "Liam has always been there. You came later. And yes, sometimes he understands me better than you do." My heart sank. It felt like a punch. I walked out of the house without another word. I wandered through the night streets, wondering how you can lose someone you were planning a future with just yesterday. The next few days, she tried to act normal, but I could see it, she wasn't with me anymore. She laughed at her phone while I sat next to her. She didn't notice my silence. I was losing myself in doubt, in jealousy, in pain. That's when I decided to stop fighting for someone who wasn't fighting for me. I started packing my things quietly. She asked, "Where are you going?" I said, "Home, to myself." She didn't stop me. She just nodded. That night, I slept at a friend's place. For the first time in a long while, I slept without fearing I'd wake up even more broken. A few days later, she texted, "I didn't think you'd actually leave." I replied, "Because you didn't give me a choice." She went silent. Maybe she's still choosing between me and him. But I'm not waiting anymore. Later, I saw a photo of them at the cafe she once told me was our place. They were sitting close, laughing. That's when I knew she made her choice. And while it hurt, I was free now. Freedom hurts, but it's honest. And I started rebuilding myself. I began running, reading, reconnecting with people I had pushed away. Slowly but surely, I was coming back to life. Weeks passed, and the pain started to dull. I found myself smiling again. One of my friends said, "You seem alive again." And he was right. I no longer woke up afraid of betrayal. I stopped checking my phone for her texts. She wasn't in my life anymore, only in memories. And memories don't lie or leave. They fade. One evening, I was sitting in a cafe reading when a girl sat across from me. "Is that book any good?" she asked. I smiled. It was the first time in ages I felt a lightness in conversation. We talked for an hour and kept texting for the next few days. She wasn't like my ex. There were no mind games, no jealousy, no subtle digs, just honesty and calm. We started seeing each other more often. I didn't rush anything this time. I wanted to feel every moment. She didn't demand anything, didn't hide her phone, didn't make me doubt myself. Her calm presence soothed all my wounds. One day she said, "I feel like someone really hurt you." I nodded, "But I'm grateful for it," I replied, "because without that, I wouldn't have met you." I never told her the whole story. She never asked. She was just there for my silence, my jokes, and the moments when I looked like I was somewhere else. And that quiet presence meant everything. She didn't try to fix me. She accepted me, all of me, scars and all. She taught me I didn't have to fear being vulnerable again. That real love doesn't demand healing before it offers warmth. Months later, we took a short trip together. Coincidentally, it was to the same town where I had once seen my ex with Liam. We passed by the old hotel and even the cafe they used to visit. And you know what? It didn't hurt anymore. I looked at it, smiled, and walked on. The past no longer owned me. I had let go. And that was freedom, not escape, but true peace. One evening, while scrolling through social media, I saw a post. It was a photo of my ex at a wedding hearse. The groom wasn't Liam. My heart didn't flinch. Instead, I felt ... nothing. No anger, no sadness, just quiet. I had truly moved on. She had built her own life, and I was building mine. Separate paths, no longer crossing. Later that night, I sat on the balcony with my new partner. She leaned on my shoulder and said, "I love the way you listen." It hit me then how different this was. No tension, no pretending, no competition with some male best friend. Just two people choosing each other every day, without manipulation or games. Looking back, I realized my biggest mistake wasn't staying too long. It was not trusting my gut when the signs were all there. The late night messages, the "he's just a friend" excuses, the emotional distance. But pain is a teacher, and I had learned I would never ignore my instincts again. To anyone going through what I went through, it's not your fault. You're not weak for loving someone who didn't value you. And healing takes time, but you'll get there. And one day, you'll laugh again. Not out of bitterness, but because you're finally free. That laugh will be real. So real, it'll echo through everything you do. Love should never feel like a battlefield. It shouldn't feel like you're constantly proving your worth or fighting ghosts your partner refuses to let go of. Real love is peace. Real love is safe. And when you find it, hold on to it, not out of fear, but with gratitude. Because after the storm, you'll recognize the calm for the miracle it is. Months later, I got a message from Liam. It was short. "You were right. I should have listened." I stared at it for a while, then deleted it. There was no satisfaction in his downfall. I wasn't angry anymore. I didn't need closure from him. I had already closed that chapter myself and sealed it with peace. My girlfriend now is nothing like my ex. She respects me. She trusts me. And most importantly, she never makes me feel like I'm competing for her attention. There are no late-night messages from just friends, no hidden meanings in conversations, just openness and warmth. And every day, I wake up grateful for it. So, if you're in a relationship that feels one-sided, confusing, or draining, don't ignore that voice inside you. It's trying to protect you. Walk away if you need to. Heal. Learn. And when you're ready, love again, but smarter and stronger. Your peace is worth more than someone else's comfort. Remember that.